Kick and chase by Mullins. Kick and chase again by Mullins. It'll be a miracle. Oh, it is a miracle. Fafita tries to crash his way over. He does. Fafita got the ball over the line.
Hunter's kick is over the sideline for a 40-20.
Yeah, g'day champions and welcome to 40-20 Sports. Round one in the bag, done and dusted. Shit fight. I know everyone's probably freaking out right now about their teams, about their captaincy choices. Why did I pick him? Why didn't I pick this person? It is only round one. Please, everyone, stop freaking out. Everyone got low scores. So if you're sitting there like I am with a sub 900 score, don't freak out. Everyone that I've seen in the league, there is lucky to be a handful of people over 1,000. If you are those people, congratulations. Well done. Good picking. You'd be pretty stoked with that after the round that it was. It was a good round for football nonetheless, but just Supercoach points were way down. Super disappointing with some picks. Look, it wasn't bad luck. It wasn't bad management. Nothing like that. It just didn't happen to work out the way we wanted it to, and that's kind of happens around the round one sort of fixtures anyway most of the time. So brush that off. We'll be back better and bigger this week. Before we get into it, we have a league code, 726638. We're nearly at 500 people in that, so if you want to join, jump into that. It's free. We're going to do a big merch pack for the winner of that. We've got shirts, stickers, hats, stubby coolers, that kind of stuff. And we'll be giving shout-outs on our Instagram account, which is 4020 Sports. I'll put that down the bottom. Please jump on there and get a hold of me if you have any questions, you want any clarity on your teams, thoughts on people that I don't touch in this video, because it is pretty long-winded with the now we're going to have all the games running into it, and I kind of want to make it as short and sharp for everyone as possible with delivering as much information as possible as well. So we'll kick off the Thursday night game. That was the Knights versus Canberra. Canberra winning that one 28-12 in a massive upset over the Knights. Canberra were really, really strong. Their forward pack looked good. The kicking game with Jamal Fogarty was exceptional. They just pinned the Knights down in their own half, and the Knights were absolutely terrible. From a Knights fan, it was a pretty hard watch. Kicking the ball out on the full from kickoffs, just in general play, kicking it out, the knock-ons, the completion rate was terrible from the Knights. That is a game that they will want to forget. They had such high hopes on them this season, and to deliver that in front of 22,000 people that they had up there at Mac Jones Stadium, they should nearly give their money back to those people because they were dreadful throughout the night. We'll start off with Zach Hosking. He was the standout for the night. He got 92 points, a try assist, line break assist, got through 38 tackles, only 12 in runs, but still punched out a heap of defensive work. Good try from a kick. Haven't really seen too much of that from him, but it was good to see him leap up in the air and get a good try there. The concern with him is obviously Whitehead when he comes back. I think about round 3 or 4, they're expecting him, so don't get too excited about Hosking. Tyson Frizzell, 74 points, 1 try, a line break, 30 tackles, a typical Tyson Frizzell night. He just really ran onto that hard line ball. Nice and close to their edge there against the Canberra Raiders. Tyson Gamble gave him a quick little offload there and he scored about 3/4 out from the sideline, which was good to see. Tyson Frizzy getting rewarded for a pretty good game. He was one of the ones that was actually seemed to have a bit of a crack there for the old 90s, so it was good to see him cross over. Jamal Fogarty, 63 points. 2 try assists, 15 tackles, 4 out of 6 with the goal kicking, which is decent but not fantastic. He was awesome with the boot. This is the sort of difference between fantasy and Supercoach. You don't really get rewarded for your kicking game in Supercoach like you do for fantasy league. So although he was fantastic, a lot of his good work was made with the boot. So unfortunately, having that cracking game, he only gets a 63 points, Jamal. It is probably something that'll happen throughout the year with him being so dominant with the kicking. If he has these good games, good kicking games, he may get these try assists like we see here, 2 try assists, but no line break assists. His running game isn't too crash hot, but his game management is really, really good. So 63 points as far as the halves went this week. You've got to be stoked with that. There was a few people that asked me about him. I tried to turn you away, but if you went on him, congratulations. But 63 could nearly be his upside. So, yeah, one to sort of steer clear of, I'm thinking. Joe Tarpanay with the 59. He got 35 tackles, 22 points in runs and 4 tackle busts. He was just stand out, Joe Tarpanay, like he usually is. Apart from the 8 points he got in tackle busts, he was basically got the 59 in base stats just alone. So owners will be happy with that. Got the 55 minutes, which is really good for Joe Tarpane. They were running a heavy bench. They do rely a lot on their bench forwards. So it was really good to see Joe Tarpane get that 55 minutes in. If he can continue and get about 55 to 60 as the year rolls on, owners will be super happy with that. Greg Marzu, 59 points. One line break, which was a bit dubious. I'm not sure if it was a line break or not, but 12 points in tackle bust, 38 points in runs alone. Super impressive with the output there. Super happy with him. With the loss of Dom Young, they are going to be really heavily reliant on him to take their carries out of yardage, which is good for Greg Marzu. Good for Greg Marzu owners. If you are looking at someone that's got an awesome base, he is your man. Attacking points will come. He's coming off the left-hand side of Ponga. Just stay patient if that's you. I'm happy if I owned him for 60 points the way the week went. Just keep him in your team. Don't think about selling him. He had a pretty good game there. Morgan Smithies with a 58. 42 in tackles, 19 in runs. He was all base. It was the most boring 58 points you've ever seen in your life, but it was at the same time, it was lovely to watch. 340k, if you can keep punching those sort of numbers out, I am a very happy owner. Did go off for a HIA, so a bit unsure about how good his minutes can be. Got 65 minutes, had 15 minutes off with the HIA, but be interesting to see if they find him as an 80-minute player or he is that 60-minute player. And the HIA was just a bit of a bonus that they got him off and gave him a breather. Kalen Ponga, run him 50 points, 8 in tackle busts, one line break assist, 22 points in runs. He was plenty busy, very limited opportunity for scoring and attacking stats. Sort of created his own with that hard run back, beat Ethan Strange and Morgan Smithies there. That was good to see. Line break assist to Greg Marzu, which again, a bit contentious. I had the captaincy on Ponga, which as of Thursday night, I was fucking shattered. I thought, oh my God, what have I done? My other options were Hines and Cleary, so I ended up doing the right thing. Surprisingly, if you told me that at the time, I was borderline in tears on Thursday night. But anyway, 50 points. They've got the Cowboys next week. Fingers crossed he can do a bit of damage there. Do not think of selling Kalen Ponga. I'm in there for the long run with him. I think he'll come good. Dylan Lucas got a 49, basically all in base. Looked in a serious battle with that head injury. Trying to make a tackle there to stop the try. I'd be checking in on him on the next few days with his injury. They were saying something, maybe a broken jaw, because he got a bit of a double hit. He got an elbow from Savage, I think it was, and then got Ponga's knee on the way through. So he did have claret coming out of his nose, but they were concerned about his jaw, which could have been from either the first or second little instance where he got that. Yeah, look, if you're a Dylan Lucas owner, you're hoping for the best, but he looked really good. He looked really busy in defence. Just not sure what's going to happen with that injury there. Danny Levi, 45, got a try, line break, 17 tackles. He was looking horrendous going into half-time, an absolute train wreck of a thing. I jumped on him because I wanted Harry Grant in my hooking role as my starting hooker. I was absolute panic stations when he was on about 7 or 9 at halftime. I thought, shit, I'm going to have this bloke in my team all year, but ended up getting 56 minutes, which is really good. If he can keep that up, hopefully he can jag a couple more attacking stats, maybe some try assists or try contributions, and we can look to move him on. Kai Pearce-Paul, 43 in 40 minutes. Huge work ethic. 20 tackles, 2 tackle busts, 3 offloads, and 14 in runs alone. He looked every bit an attacking player for our Supercoach teams. Not the concerning thing, actually. The bonus here could be if Dylan Lucas is injured, Kai Pearce-Paul could come into that starting side. So one to watch, 43 and 40 minutes as an edge back rower. He's massive PPMs. Loved what I saw. His ability to get the offload was awesome. So if Dylan Lucas is out with a long-term injury with a jaw, I'd be looking at getting him as nearly a must with that. Savage, 43, got a try, so decent enough. If you've got him, you'd be relatively happy, but he was a bit quiet until he did get that try. Ethan Strange with a 28. He was solid. He was just playing second fiddle to Fogarty. We'll take that. We'll take a 28 from a guy who's dirt cheap. I've got him down in my CTWs. Love to hear where you guys have got him, but look, he'll grow with confidence. That's a 5'8" is a position that you've got to work into. Anywhere in the halves or the spine area is something that you sort of got to work into. So fingers crossed for the young man. He can continue to grow with that jersey of the number 6, and they've got the Tigers next week, so that'll be interesting to see as well. The first of the Friday night games was the Warriors got dudded by the Sharks 16-12 there over in New Zealand. Warriors started a really good brand of football. They were expansive. Sean Johnson's ability to keep the forced dropouts was really, really good to watch. He got a stack of points actually in that. Besides that, he didn't have too many attacking stats, but his ability to keep them down in their own end with his kicking game was beautiful to watch. The Sharkies just came back with it, gritted their teeth, super impressive in defence, and then they ended up getting the chockies, getting the rewards, shifting it out left. Talakai and Mulatalo were doing all the damage there. Some nightmares for Supercoach owners in this team, in this game, but we'll get stuck into this one. If you went left field in your front row forward and got Adam Fanua-Blake, like the guy I had in my head-to-heads this week had, congratulations, 103 points, a try, 2 line breaks, 20 tackles, 10 points in tackle busts, 4 in offloads, 28 points in runs. He was massive. Looked dangerous every time he had the ball. His defence was really tight. They're still looking at like they're going to use him short of the line, just use him as a wrecking ball. Getting him one-on-one is nearly impossible to stop this man. So he's one of the few front rowers that has the ability to go 100. Showed that round 1. I didn't expect it, but yeah, well done. If anyone jumped on him, congratulations. Ronaldo Mulatalo gets an 87. He got a try assist, 1 line break assist, and 24 points in runs. 24 points in runs is pretty encouraging for Ronaldo. He sometimes struggles with his base, but 24 in runs alone, that's really, really good from him. That left edge of him and Talakai, they basically went tit for tat. He got Talakai a line break assist and a try assist. Talakai gave him the same back. So they work really well together. That's going to be an issue for teams all years trying to decipher what happens there with them. Like I said, Talakai ended up with 75 points, a try assist, line break assist. Same as Mulatalo, they just laid it on a platter for each other. Talakai with 161 metres, though, was really impressive to see from him. Next up was Tohu Harris, 66 points, 34 tackles, 36 points in runs alone. He did 66 points all in base. Every year, this guy doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. At the start of the year, I am a criminal for it. I don't think about Tohu Harris until about midway through the season where Origin starts to play in, but a 66 in base, do not sleep on Tohu Harris. Yeah, I would not talk anyone against buying him. He is safe as houses every single week. Sean Johnson with 66 points. Like I said before, no real attacking stats, but just that ability to put the grubbers in, keep them in goals. 30 points in forced dropouts alone for him. So that made up nearly half his points that he got. So really impressive kicking game. Looked sharp, looked good through the hands. Him and Luke Metcalf worked really, really good. Just once they got off that roll of those 2 quick tries in the start of the game, they sort of just lost their way a little bit, and the Sharkies really condensed their defence. So a bit of a hard night for Sean Johnson, but he'll come good. I really like the look of the Warriors. I think they've got plenty of points in them. They just try to grind their way to a win, and unfortunately the Sharkies were too good defensively. Luke Metcalf come of age a little bit as well, 70 points from him. A try, line break assist, 20 tackles as well, which is good. He was really good defensively. That play through the middle of the field in broken play, step 1, step 2, step the fullback, under the sticks was super, super impressive. Awesome to see. He's got so much potential, Luke Metcalf. I hope he has a breakout year. He will be one to keep an eye on. Britton Nakora with 57 points, 42 tackles, a line break assist, and 13 points in runs. Bit of a quiet night for him offensively, but 42 tackles. He got through a stack of defensive work. Like I said, the Sharkies just really knuckled down on their defensive work. He shifted the ball out well, took hard runs. He was impressive. 57 as far as back rowers went this week as well. That's quite a good score. There's a couple of guys that we were expecting to get 80 minutes and go huge, but not to be. The fact he's an 80-minute back rower as well is good for owners. We'll go on to Tane Tuapiki, 49 points, 16 points alone in tackle busts, 29 points in runs. This guy is a future star of the game. The fact that he did that in 65 minutes as well, he went off with a HIA. If he got the full 80 minutes, I can't see why he wouldn't have got up near 60. And for his price, I think he's about 270k. That's phenomenal. We love that. Put the reserve on him, which was one of the very few wins that I had throughout the week. So yeah, I'm happy I've got him in there. Chance Nickel-Klokstad set to come back round 4, maybe 5. There is a bit more talk about his hamstring troubles leading up into back issues. If this happens, recovery can be a lot longer. I follow the NRL physio. Anyone who doesn't follow him on Instagram. He's very informative with all this sort of gear. So he seems to think that was what could happen, a bit of a longer recovery for Chance. So if that happens, Tuapiki, it'll only be a matter of time until he goes large. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck ended up with 46 points, 10 tackles, 10 points in tackle busts and 28 in runs. So a lot of that was base. The 10 points in tackle busts, he'll get them every week, so I'm going to count them as base for him as well. Just under 50, I'm happy with that. The Sharkies did a great job of nullifying him. They swarmed him every time he got the ball. It was like flies to shit. It was beautiful. Great defence there from the Sharkies. Good game plan from them. I did get excited when Tane Tuapiki, although I owned him when he was set to go off with the HIA. I thought if he fails it, Roger's going to go back there and get a good, decent chunk of minutes in at fullback, and I got a bit excited. But anyway, not to be. Nico Hines, 26 points. I know a lot of people captained him. It is bloody unfortunate. Supercoach-wise, had a stinker. One of the lowest scores Nico's ever got in Supercoach alone, let alone in the last year, or what he will get this year. I nearly guarantee that'll be his lowest points for the year. Do not panic sell this man. I'm pretty sure they've got the Dogs next week. So hold on to him until then. Give him a couple more weeks. His opposition run is the Bulldogs, Tigers, Raiders. So just hold on. There is going to be points in that team. A bit of talk with Trindle taking a lot of ball off him. I don't know if it was that. I just think it was a really hard defensive game. Points will come for Nico. Do not stress. Speaking of which, Trindle, 18 points. Told people to avoid him. Jeez, I hope you listened. He has got those games in him. This wasn't a once-off like it should be for Nico Hines. Braden Trindle is potentially to get there. 18 points or about any given day. The concerning thing was that I'm not exactly sure who kicks goals. Braden Trindle kicked goals and then Nico kicked goals. So that'll be one to watch to see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Keep an eye on that. The next one, Storm versus Penrith Panthers. I was super excited to watch this game. I was amped up. I thought, fuck yeah, this is going to be the game of the round. And it ended up being probably the biggest bludger I've ever watched in all of my football career. It was diabolical. The amount of ball Penrith had on the Storm's line, I understand it's round 1, but they just could not hold it together. They looked very clunky. It looked like nobody knew what the fuck was going on. But I had a bit of a think about it, and you had Luke Summerton, didn't play trials, sort of went into that team a bit half-cocked. Luai hasn't played anything in the trials. They just looked a little bit disjointed. I'm sure they will get those cobwebs out of their games. And yeah, the Storm weren't much better, to be fair. They only scored 8 points, and it was off a haphazard kick that Remus Smith jumped onto. It was a lucky bounce more than a talented try. Let's put it that way, to say the least. A stack of missed tackles from both teams, shocking completion rate. But anyway, we got to watch these ones as well as the good games. Isaiah Yeo with 67 points, 30 tackles, 20 points in runs, 12 points in tackle busts, and 2 points in offloads. The 12 tackle busts is nice. That's not usually, you don't usually see that from Isaiah Yeo, but I think towards the end he just got sick of passing the ball out to people and then they were knocking it on, so he just thought, fuck it, I'm taking it under the wing and I'll have a crack myself. All these points in base, 67 in base, awesome. Yeah, I just thought he needed a bit more support around him. I thought he was their best player. Shows with his Supercoach points and his output, but yeah, just needed a bit more help around him, the big fella. But anyway, Taylor May, 67 points, 18 in tackle busts, 1 line break, 20 in runs, 17 tackles. was really the only person that looked like breaking the game apart. He had a good couple of runs down the left-hand edge. Looks to fit in that centre position. There was a couple of times I did see him and Taruva swap positions, centre and wing. Not sure if that was just a fatigue thing, tailor-made jumping out onto the wing or what, but that could be something to watch. But yeah, he looked the most likely out of anyone. He was entertaining to watch, super busy. Owners should be very happy with that. There'll be points to come for him. Elias Katoa got 66, 32 tackles, yep. 2 offloads, a line break assist, 20 points in runs. Good night for him. He was busy running off Jerome Hughes. Is a good position to be for any second rower. It's just a standard 80-minute work rate for our second row forward that you would expect. Sonny Luke got a 62. Good game from him, but with Mitch Kenny coming back, I would avoid that. Please don't go on to the Sonny Luke train. We fucking got burned by that last year. It will not happen again. Remus Smith got a 55. He scored that fortuitous try with a lucky bounce there. Dived on the ball. Without getting that, he goes back to what we know him for, which is 35 points a game, basically. 35 to 40 points is what Remus is good for every game, so please don't look into him too much. Harry Grant got 49 points, all in base, 38 tackles. Got the 6 tackle busts, but I'll include those in his game because he will grab those for you each and every week. I'll take it. 49 against the Panthers. That's a decent score for me. I think Harry Grant, points will come for him. The Storm will click into gear a bit more in attack and look a little bit less clunky, so I'm happy with that. Brian To'o, 45 points, 30 points in runs just alone. The other 10 coming in tackle busts. No attacking stats. I'm going to say this for every player from both sides. Do not panic. Don't worry. Attacking stats will come. These two teams are too good to be dishing up that sort of effort every week, and their opponents will get easier and easier from here on in. Liam Henry, 36 points. I missed out on him, but if you went him as one of your front row forward cheapies, the 230k blokes, well done. He was probably the pick of the bunch with 36 points. 25 tackles, 11 runs, 35 minutes out there for 36 points. Points per minute, hovering around 1. Beautiful. You take that. He may be a bit of a slow burn, but if he can get an attacking stat here or there, couple of offloads, he can come good for you. Nathan Cleary, 36 points, 22 tackles, 2 tackle busts, an offload, 4 drop out, 9 in runs. It's a decent stat sheet. He just didn't have the volume that you would expect for Nathan Cleary. Like I said, the attack looked awfully clunky out there. Don't know if it was the Summits and Luai sort of thing going on there with them coming fresh off no trials. But anyway, Nathan Cleary will bounce back. Their draws will get easier. Not as much for the Panthers as it will. But anyway, we will go from there. Nathan Cleary, 36. Not ideal for those who went the Nathan Cleary, Nico Hines duo. But some of the other results that happened throughout the week are just as big a headache, if not worse. So we'll leave it at that. Ryan Pappenhausen, 30 points. Just couldn't get into the game. Again, heaps of mistakes coming out of their own half. Never really got any attacking opportunities. 30 points. Disappointing for owners as well because of that fullback position that they have doing so well. Everyone else in the fullback position seemed to really benefit from the first round earlier in the week. Anyway, the guys that went to Vegas, we had them 4 fullbacks. They killed it. Unfortunately, the others have done pretty poor. Joe Chan, 24 points. Missed a stack of tackles. I think he's got a -9 there for tackles. Only the 64 minutes as well, but I mean, if a second row forward that has a decent output is only getting 24 points in 64 minutes, we really need to be concerned about him being in the team in the next few coming weeks with Nelson coming back. Hopefully, he can stick around for a couple of weeks and it's not a dudded trade in. We'll see what happens. All right, thank fuck we got away from that game. Parramatta Eels, 26 against the Dogs, 8. Parramatta, total control of this one. Really, really good. Looked really sharp. They kept the Bulldogs down in their own. Barely gave them any ball for the first 55 minutes. Parramatta were really, really slick on top of them. Completion rate was good. I thought the use of Junior Paulo coming off the bench was really good. They sort of bashed through the Bulldogs' middle. And then once they were all rooted and the Bulldogs had put their second string front rowers on, they had to deal with Junior Paulo, which was a great move from Brad Arthur. The Bryce Cartwright, he went bonkers. The edge for the Dogs was pretty concerning. They lost Josh Adokar to an injury, so that'll be one to monitor there with the likes of Bronson Sherry possibly coming back into the fray, but we'll wait and see for team lists about that. All right, Bryce Cartwright, 116, 2 tries, 18 tackles, 24 in offloads, 2 in line breaks, 19 in runs. Had a monster night. They could not contain the big fella. The Cardi Party's back. He was a nightmare for the Dogs defenders. He constantly getting the arm away. 24 points in offloads is ridiculous. Had good form coming into this. If you watched him in the trials, he worked really well with Mitch Moses, actually. So, you can sometimes potentially look back at these things and go, oh, he was awesome in the trials. Why didn't I trust him? Bit of a risky one, but he looked really good. Ran onto a hard line ball for his first try, and then a bit of Ryan Madison magic with a flick pass out the back. Got his second one. Well done to those who jumped on Cardi. Blake Wilson, 72 points, a try, 8 in tackle busts, 2 line breaks, 26 points in runs. Burnt Simonson for his try down the right-hand side off Blake Taft ball. That was good to watch. I didn't realise, I sort of saw a little bit in the trials that Blake Wilson's got a really good step on him, but I didn't realise how much pace he had. He burnt Simonson again in the second half for another line break, but he looks really, really good. I wouldn't put it past him to have a breakout season. The 26 points in runs alone, when the Dogs had very, very limited ball and opportunity, is a very good sign. He is awkwardly priced. He's around 500-something K. So one to watch. If he keeps those sort of points up, he might be a must by the end of the season. Clint Gutherson, 66 points, 4 out of 4 kicking goals, 10 points in tackle busts, 34 points in runs. Typical Gutho night, super busy. Work ethic's really, really good. Moses looks like he does have a groin injury. So if Moses is to miss the next couple of weeks, or if Moses just isn't confident with kicking goals, Gutho will really benefit from those goal kickings. He's a decent goal kicker, 4 from 4, happy days. We'll take that. Gutho with a 66, it is, like I said, a typical Gutho night. There was no real attacking stats in there. Good work rate. You'd be happy with 66. Joey Lussick. Now, a lot of people were huge on him, but they sort of got a little bit deterred by the fact that Brendan Hands was on the bench, and that turned me away as well. When I saw that, I instantly took him out of my side and chucked Danny Levi in. But 61 points from Joey Lussick, a try assist, 24 tackles, 40-20, shout out, which was beautiful to see, 8 points in runs. The most impressive stat was 63 minutes. So I didn't expect that. I thought maybe him and Brendan Hands would split it 40-40. But if Joey Lussick can grab out 63 minutes with that forward pack that they've got there at Parramatta and the roll-on that they have, especially, I think there's points to be had off Junior Paulo if he continues to come off the bench against the second-string front rowers from the opposition. He looked good. He looked good. We did talk about it in the preseason. Highlighted he had about a 45 to 47 average and 80-minute games with no attacking stats. Attacking stats have come in. Well done to those who had him. Paulo and Hopgood, 61 points, basically in base. That is just a standard night for those two. Blake Taft with 55 points, a try assist, 2 tackle busts, 2 line break assists, which was good, and 18 in runs. Looked energetic, very limited time for his scoring opportunities, but he's got a lot of pace. He's a bit like a Clint Gutherson as well in his work rate. He's always very busy, always seems to pop up. If you win him, 55 points is good for his cash price. Dill Brown with a 54, a try assist, 19 tackles, 2 tackle busts, a forced dropout, 16 in runs. That's good base. We're happy with that. A try assist is about the only scoring points in there from Dill Brown, but I thought Dill Brown looked really good. He had to take the reins when Moses went a bit injured. Maybe a bit uncomfortable with how much kicking he had to do, but he looked really strong. If you're a Dill Brown owner, 54, basically in base. Well, about 45 in base, but still you'd take that. Be interesting to see what happens. Again, Moses being injured, that could throw the cat among the pigeons, so one to watch. Joshy Curran come off the bench. A lot of people went off him, but still punched out 52 points. 35 tackles, 15 points in runs. A very solid base. Got good minutes. Some of the minutes there for the Dogs forwards were bloody poor. Josh Curran ate them up. 63 minutes in the middle is beautiful to see from him. If I was an owner, I'd be happy with that. Jacob Carraz, 49 points, 27 points in runs, 5 tackle busts for him. Basically did it all in base, coming out of his own end. No attacking stats. 49, I think that's about as low as Jacob Carraz can go, so do not panic about that. Max King's 45, that was all in base as well. The concerning thing for him is it was 42 minutes. I'm not sure where all the minutes went for these doggies pack, but I was expecting Max King to be around the 50-55. I did not expect Curran to get 63. That's massive for him. But yeah, Maxi King, his minutes just got gobbled up. 42 minutes, bit concerning. Have another look next week. If he's looking at only getting 40 minutes, he's probably one you want to move on to a guy with getting a bit more of an output there. Kick out 42 points. God, he needed the try assist and an offload there. His base was low. The only thing that is positive for owners was, apart from the try assist, which was a fantastic flick pass out the back, should be back to 80 minutes next week. Went off with a bit of an injury scare there, I think. So 67 minutes for him. Should be back up to 80 next week. Mitch Moses, very concerning for owners. 33 points. Groin injury looks to be incoming his way. He did finish the game. Looked horrible every time he kicked the ball. He was wincing in pain every time he touched the ball with his foot. I'd be worried if I was an owner. I think he did get through the game, but he was getting interviewed by Fox Sports, and he was actually didn't sound very confident that he was even going to back up for next week. You know, he sort of said, "Oh, we'll see how we go. We'll try our best to get out there." So a bit concerning for owners, but one to watch. Sam Hughes with 31 points. He got some good upgrades. I think he was on about 19, so thank God he upgraded to 31. 28 minutes only for the big fella. That's a bit concerning, but he did in 28 minutes have 27 tackles and 6 points in runs. Fantastic output. 35 minutes though is where he sort of needs to be. If he can get to that 35-minute mark and he starts punching out 40s, we really need to see him there. Fingers crossed his minutes improve, which his points will improve. But yeah, look, the 28 minutes is a massive blow for Sam Hughes. Everyone has sort of been honeydicked a little bit by the guys coming out, Gussie Gould and Carraz coming out and saying how impressive he is and how fit he is. That means bugger all if he's only getting 28 minutes. Jamin Salmon, I know a lot of people were keen on him. I played him in my CTWs. 29 points. He had 31 tackles and 10 points in runs. Had a few errors, gave away penalties, missed some tackles. Predominantly, he missed some tackles when he went out to an edge spot. He was on 27 at half-time playing a middle role. Josh had a car injury, threw a cat among the pigeons because he had to go out and play centre. As soon as he went out to centre, he got no ball. Barely anyone was running at him, and it looked really, really out of place there. So give him another week. I would give him another couple of weeks. I think he's a slam dunk. In 27 at half-time, looked to be heading for about a 40 to 45-point game. So I was happy at half-time with that. But yeah, one to watch. Next game up is the Titans getting absolutely walloped by the Dragons, 28-4. Dragons were super impressive. They held the Titans off with a great defensive effort in the first 25-30 minutes, and then they reaped the rewards of that, getting to play some expansive footy in the back half and into the second half. Really good work by the Dragons. Titans, very clunky, clearly missing Foran. I think even Kinney, he had a bit of a shocker. People were pretty keen on him, hoping to get a bit of a cash rise out of him. But anyway, the big one, Zach Lomax with 108 points, 1 try, 4 out of 5 from his goal kicking, 20 in tackle busts, 2 line breaks, and a whopping 37 points in runs alone. Not sure where this came from. There was talk that he was bloody sick of it, didn't want to be at the Dragons. You know, there was a bit of talk about Parramatta Eagles looking at him. Flano's put a firecracker up his ass and just said, run your tits off, son. And he did. My word, he did. 37 points just in runs alone. The 108 points is beautiful and fantastic. But the base stats, 20 in tackle busts and 37 in runs, that's what most excites me about Zach Lomax's effort. He was keen to take the hard carries, getting out of yardage, always wanting to take the scoot in the first hit up of the set. So it was good to see. If he keeps that up, he will rocket into contention for a CTW. Tyrell Sloan, 103 points for him, 3 tries, 4 tackle busts, a forced dropout, 2 line breaks and a line break assist, only 12 in the runs. I thought he was man of the match. just pipped Zachy Lomax, but yeah, man of the match from my eyes. We all know how dependent he is on attacking stats, but when he gets it right, he gets it right. 103, I would be surprised if anyone owns him, but 103, awesome work. Cannot wait to see how his year pans out under Flano this year. Raymond Fatala-Mariner was the next one up, 86, a try assist, 32 tackles, 5 tackle busts, 3 offloads, a line break assist, and 13 points in runs. 45 in base, which is pretty good, but it is a bit concerning about the Luciano Leilua factor with him to come in. Also, they did have him starting on the bench, but Blake Laurie pulled out of the game just before kickoff. So Raymond Fatala-Mariner jumps into that starting role, got pretty much 80, I think 74 minutes, he was around about there. I would see that dropping if he does go back to the bench. But anyway, one to keep an eye on just in case he does get a starting role there. Ben Hunt with a 79, 2 try assists and a few forced dropouts. He was really good. Ben Hunt was doing this very predominant, bit of an old school sort of halfback, playing both sides every now and again. Was very much a first receiver, and I think that worked really well for young Kyle Flanagan as well. The more time this man has his hands on the ball, the better the Dragons will look. This man will make, even if they are playing average, this man will make them look good the more chances he has his hands on the ball. Dragons look good. They look really, really smooth in attack towards the end of the second half. I think that was more the Titans getting tired, so probably not reading too much into this. The Titans were terrible, so we can't read fully into it. If I was a Dragons supporter, I'd be far from buying some tickets to the grand final, but the more Ben Hunt has the ball, the better they look. Tino Fasumalawe, he was the best from the Titans. He had a ripping first half, but they pulled him off. In the second half, not as much game time. 64 points, 26 tackles, 31 points in runs. All his work was in base. Big game for him. 58 minutes, just shy of the 60. He is every chance of getting more minutes than that and a higher uptick. So owners will be happy with that. 64 points, that's a good game from him. Tommy Eisenhuth with 59 points in 60 minutes. He got through a shitload of defensive work, 39 tackles. Again, he is one to watch with Leilua coming back. I'm pretty sure he only played about 60 minutes there, so he doesn't even look like he's going to be an 80-minute back rower without the whole Leilua situation. So good from him. He's well priced. Just watch out for Leilua coming back. Kyle Flanagan, 58 points. A try contribution, 12 tackles, a forced dropout, 1 line break, 6 points in runs. Stack sheet, his football was really good. Like I said, Benny Hunt seems to be playing a first receiver as Kyle Flanagan playing a second receiver, and I really like that for him. I think there are going to be some games where he's going to get a lot of tacking opportunities and a lot of tacking stats. There will be some games where he has a stinker and he gets none, but playing outside of Ben Hunt creates a lot of space for him, and he has got them outside men that are really good attacking players. I like it. I thought Flanagan looked really good. It was a bit of a Brooksy moment when he scored, you know. If he doesn't score, he's mid-20s but had a really, really good game. But anyway, we'll take the 58 from there. Bo Fermor will work down to him with a 34, 27 in tackles, 14 points in runs. Shocking game from him. I thought he didn't get involved. 27 tackles is decent, but he missed 5 of them, so Desi up there will be absolutely fuming with how some of these Titans players, and I was an owner of Bo Fermor. I had a chance to drop him or Helam Lukey, and I picked the wrong one, obviously. He really missed being outside Kieran Foran. Now, the concerning part for this is him going out to a right-hand edge when David Fafita comes back, and you've got Tanner Boyd feeding him ball. He basically had Weaver that was giving him absolutely nothing, and he just looked a little bit out of sorts and a little bit disinterested, which is a massive shame for him. Keenan Palacia with 22 points in 31 minutes. Yuck. I hope you avoided. I may have talked some people into it at the start of the season with my initial team. I thought he looked really good coming off the Broncos, but not to be. He didn't look very interested. Limited minutes, 31 minutes as a starting. Well, he didn't even start it like he got pushed to the bench, so I would be avoiding him at all costs. Viliama Fafita, 17 points in 14 minutes. Looks to be a trap. Leilua probably comes back, pisses him off, but I'm still happy to have him there as a bit of a nuff. 2RF, FRF, duel. I'm happy with that. Last game of the week, we've got the Dolphins getting absolutely pantsed by the Cowboys, 43-18. Cowboys looked phenomenal. They looked awesome. They hit the ground running. They had a lot of pressure on them from last year where they were critical on themselves for not starting the year right, and they just couldn't get their groove going. The Dolphins were the exact opposite. They started the round one game against the Chookies last year, really impressive, really hot and heavy. So it was a bit of a surprise to see that sort of flip around this year. Val Holmes kicked it off with 108 points. I don't even know how the fuck he got 108 points. If you listen to his stat sheet, he had 1 try assist, 7 from 7 in his goal kicking, which really, really helps, but 10 points in offloads, 2 line break assists, and 29 points in runs. There no tries, no line breaks. How did this man get 100 points? I know there's the goal kicking and they killed it, but still, his stat sheet looked amazing. He was damaging every time he ran the ball. Looks like they're going to get him a lot more ball. They were a bit critical on the Cowboys last year that they didn't seem to be playing to the left-hand side, but Drinky really opened up both edges, and Scotty Drinkwater is going to be crucial to this side. They played really well. Val Holmes with 100. Good work from owners who paid up for him. I was looking at him at some stage and I just couldn't pay up. Shows should have paid up for him. The surprise packet, Zach Labert with 103. People were interested in him. Congratulations for people who stuck with him and went with it. 103 points, 2 tries, a try assist, 5 tackle busts, 2 line breaks, 21 points in runs. He was my pick of the players. He looked really, really good. His aggressive style of running, he was trying to run through people as opposed to running into people. Burnt that right-hand defence twice with a good break. I don't know. I think this guy could be a surprise packet for the year. I want to give him a couple more weeks before I jump on. He is still quite awkwardly priced around that 400k sort of mark, mid 400k. 21 points and runs is good from a centre point of view. I think working outside of Drinkwater and that, he'll get a lot of attacking opportunities this year. But I just want to give him another week or two just to see what happens when they don't have all the ball and they don't have all the running. Murray Tuilagi was the third of the Cowboys players to crack the 100 mark. Also, this is on a Sunday night, so they have updated the scores, but they may update them again. So take this with a grain of salt. But Murray Tuilagi with 101, he got a try assist, try contribution, 2 line breaks for Murray, and 29 points in runs. Huge work ethic, which is the best part to see about Murray Tuilagi. That is probably one of his downfalls as a Supercoach player, is his work rate. But nearly 30 points in runs alone is massive. Like I said, Drinky unlocking those edges looked really smooth. Even if Drinky didn't get the points and the Supercoach points that sort of coincide with that, as a football player, looked really good, Drinky. To be fair, the Dolphins' edges were terrible defensively, but anyway, Murray Tuilagi, well done to you. Jeremiah Nanai with an 86. He got a try contribution, 18 tackles, line break, and also 2 line break assists, 18 points in runs. He is a second row forward that is very, very reliant on attacking stats, but when he gets it right, he gets it right. He can have these massive games in him, and an 86 for Jeremiah Nanai. Good game from him. Hamaso, Tabuai, Fido, 79 points. Congratulations to owners who went him. I thought he was really, really good. 1 try assist, 20 points in tackle busts, 24 points in runs alone, and 2 line breaks from him. The attacking stats didn't really come for him, but every time he got the ball, he looked really damaging. There was that chip over the top that Townsend went for, and he caught the ball, busted away from a couple and shifted it out, got the try assist there. Looked damaging every time he got the ball. A 20 in line break, a 20 in tackle bust is really impressive for any player. A game where they get a bit more running next week, in particular, surely he gets a bit more ball. He could go large this year. I was looking at him pretty closely as well, although a lot of owners went him. So congratulations to people that went him. Tommy Flegler with a 76. Got a try to start his campaign with the Dolphins. Congratulations to Tommy Flegler and owners. 33 tackles, a line break, 16 points in runs. He got the minutes that everyone was hoping. Everyone was hoping that he would get around that 55 minutes. He got 54, so that's a good sign. Just sort of seen that when he was on, all they were doing were defending. So his runs were probably down a little bit, 16 points in runs. I could see that bumping up. But a try, you take that. That's massively beneficial for him. 33 tackles, work rate was good. Minutes are there. I like it. Good work, Tommy Flegler. Tommy Dearden with a 65-point a try contribution, 20 tackles, 5 tackle busts and line break. Good to see him taking on the line. Good little step off his right foot, darted through the Cowboys' tied defenders. Looked good. Looked like he wants to take that captaincy role by the horns. Always is, shouting, telling players where to go. He's really good at organising his attack today. So good work from Tommy Dearden. And Tommy Dearden owners, I know a few of you were pretty keen on him in the 5'8 position. Reece Robson, another popular one there in our hookers. One of the rare 80-minute hookers for the weekend. 64 points from him. Try assist, nice little short ball to Jeremiah Nanai. Good to see. 38 in tackles, a line break assist, 7 points in runs. Solid game. Good. Not too many attacking stats. The 38 tackles and 7 in runs probably sits him in the mid-40s to potentially 50s. But being that 80-minute hooker, you can't go wrong, I don't think. Congratulations to owners who got him. Helam Lukey with a 63 points. This was the guy that I downgraded to hopefully get some cheapies in. Shocking that I dropped him. 63 points. He looks amazing. A fortuitous try, albeit got the ball kicked into him by Hammer, but still got the try. 18 tackles, 28 points in run. That's 46 points in base alone, so super impressive from him. Only played the 60 minutes. He went off with a HIA. It will be interesting to see if 60 minutes is about him with Fini Fuiaki coming off the bench. But I would like to think that Lukey plays a lot more minutes. If he can get up around that 70, he's nearly a must. I'm seriously considering, I'd nearly say it's sacrilege to make a second round trade unless injury, but I could be looking at Fermor to Lukey as my trade this week. Jeremy Marshall-King with the 53 points. He had a try contribution, 40 tackles, an offload, and only a dabble of points in runs. If you're a Jeremy Marshall-King owner, I'm super happy. 74 minutes there for the hooking role. There is a bit of concern with his minutes because Max Plath, people were keen on him as well. He had a good game. Ray Stone doesn't come back after 40 minutes. Leaves with the HIA, I believe it was. Could have been an injury though. I sort of missed that bit. But yeah, him going off in the 40th minute opened up Max Plath to go into a lock role. Therefore, he could have got a bit more minutes, Jeremy Marshall-King, because Max Plath is probably the guy that would have subbed him out from hooker. Anyway, 74 minutes from Marshall-King's good. Scotty Drinkwater, the toughest 48 points you'll ever see a man get. He was sublime. Like I said, created a lot of space. He drew in defenders, shifted out the back well. Just the attacking stats didn't come there for him. He played a really good game. He was one of their best, but just it didn't accumulate into Supercoach points. But a 48, not disastrous. Ruben Cotter, I'm an owner of Ruben Cotter, the 46 points, 32 in tackles, 16 in runs. The concerning part is 51 minutes. I don't really know how he even went with 51 minutes. McIntyre played a lot of minutes. He played 50-something minutes. But Taumalolo only got 21 minutes. Ruben Cotter, only 50 minutes. I was nearly certain Ruben Cotter was in for 60, 65 minutes with that pack that they were looking at. I think they're going to give a stack of minutes to Helen Lukey. I hope that this is just a first run out and Ruben Cotter gets up around those 60 minutes. The other thing was he sort of had a real ball-playing role as opposed to just a run-first role. So I'll give him another week, Cotter. But if he continues on that path with 50 minutes, Toddy Payton is a bit funny. He's a bit like Ricky Stewart with his forwards as well. You never really know what you're going to get week in, week out. So I had him as a lock-in at 60, 65 minutes. But at 51 minutes, that is probably what he's going to dish up is 46 points. Needs to improve those minutes. Max Plath had a few people contact me on Instagram about him. 43 points is amazing. 43 minutes is better. I don't know if he's going to get that week in, week out. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Ray Stone, but Max Plath was good work rate, turned up in defence. Hopefully, he's a bit of a shining light, and if he gets 43 minutes each game, he might be a bloke that we can toss in down along the line. Jack Bostock with the 38. Thank fucking God he got that try towards the end of the game there. He was looking like another cheapie that just flopped for the week. Still only a 38. he is going to need to bump up that work rate to be playable in your 17. Look, the most concerning part was Tessie New being outside of him. Tessie New had glue hands. I mean, they had limited opportunities in attack, granted. But Tessie New has a very run-first mentality. So, one to watch. You got to have him because of his price. But just hopefully they can get a few more attacking stats there for Jack Bostock. We'll finish off on Jason Taumalolo with a 16. He came on for the opening 21 minutes and then got shoveled off. I don't know if there's an injury. There didn't look like there was an injury. Toddy Payton just rissoled owners there. People were keen on him, but a 16, I would be getting Jason Taumalolo out of my side as soon as possible if that is the case. I don't know what happened there. 21 minutes to start the game and then to not come back on. Madness. I don't know if he's preserving him. He seems to have this infatuation with putting Taumalolo on ice every time it looks like they're going to run away with the victory. So, I don't know what's going on. Owners, I would be getting away from that as soon as possible. Anyway, that's probably all we've got to get into. We do have our league code again, 726-638. Big merch pack coming for someone who is the winner of that competition. Please add us on Instagram. We're going to do a weekly thing there where we promote who is the winning team of that. And we also would love to hear your feedback and any questions that you've got for us. Please message us on Instagram. Love hearing from you guys. Love hearing about your teams and how you are going through the week. So good to be talking about footy and Supercoach again. Thanks so much for listening, guys. We will tune in throughout the week. We'll be doing a team list Tuesday. Could be potentially Wednesday morning when I do that. But anyway, take care, legends. All the best. Heads up about the week. It'll only get better. Trust me.